Just when you wanted to like start filming a video for YouTube, you get whatever that thing is. I was out doing some film work on the other side of the state, and I was on my way back about 2 hours from home. And as I was on the highway doing about 50 or 60 miles an hour, I shifted from 4th into 5th and heard a huge pop from the front end of the car. I pulled over to the shoulder and noticed another car pulling over with me. As soon as I got pulled over and stopped, the two people that were in the car in front of me came out and came over to check on me. His name is Devin, and I didn't catch his dad's name, but they actually watched the YouTube channel, which is just mind-blowing to me. Like I break down randomly on the highway and there just happens to be two of you guys out there who recognize the Prelude. It's just crazy to me. So thank you guys so much for stopping and checking up on me. As I'm stopped on the highway, I finally get the Prelude started. It can only stay in second gear at this point, I believe. No matter where I put the shifter, it hardly will go into any of the positions that it should normally go into, but it stays in second gear as far as the transmission goes. So I had to go about 2 miles up the highway in nothing but second gear, kind of revving out the motor at 6 grand, unfortunately, doing like 30 miles an hour, just trying to dip and dodge in and out of the breakdown lane and drive in the rightmost lane when I could. So I got off at the first exit and made it to a Shell gas station, and unfortunately I had no reverse or even neutral at that point, so I couldn't pull into a spot. I couldn't even like back into a spot. It was just a bad time. I was blocking everything. I ended up going in there asking the guy for a Phillips head screwdriver so I could disassemble my center console to see if there was any bindage or anything going on with the shifting cables. Didn't find anything. Started reaching out on Instagram to you guys and asking like, what can I do? Like I don't even have AAA, which is totally my bad. Lesson learned. But I was like, there has to be something I can do here. If the tranny's totally like effed, then it is what it is, I guess. And I'll just end up having to call a tow truck and bite the bullet. But I feel like there has to be something I can do. So luckily enough, one of you guys mentioned that it could be dry and I can actually put oil back into it through the evap kind of tube that comes out of the transmission. So at this point, I saw hope. I made my way to a Lowe's, which is another 2 miles up the road in nothing but second gear. So I went into Lowe's and picked up some 5WD-30 to use as the tranny oil, came back out, found a piece of paper in my glove box. It happened to be like the only thing I had in the Prelude besides my camera gear. You know, I'm just gonna show you guys my story because this will help explain it a lot better. So shitty situation, the Prelude tranny might be toast, I'm not sure. I can't get out of fifth gear. The tranny's shifting is all messed up. When I opened the hood, there was smoke coming out of the little kind of like filter or I don't know, drain tube, evap tube. So coming out right there out of the tranny was a little bit of smoke. So I'm wondering if all the tranny fluid is somehow gone. There's absolutely no way for me to lift the car up and put any tranny fluid in. I think what happened was the transmission somehow, there must be a leak. It ran itself dry, I think, and was borderline seized up. So luckily I was able to pull over fast enough to keep it from getting any hotter or seizing up or anything like that. Show you guys how I made it home because I had no tools on me. So when I finally made it to Lowe's, I picked up some, I guess it was 5W30, and I used an old list, a zip tie bag. This is so nasty, this is oil. This whole bag is, I didn't have any napkins, so I sacrificed the Vans bag to wipe my hands and stuff with, my old insurance paperwork, and finally an old piece of tinfoil that I made into a funnel. Like the jankiest stuff. What I had to do was put the oil down there. So as you can see, I literally had nothing, not even napkins to wipe my hands with. So I ended up using a piece of paper to make a funnel, later on some tinfoil to make a better funnel that worked a little bit better, but it was just a mess of a time. So once I got the oil in it at Lowe's, I was able to start shifting through gears a bit once I started kind of like putting around the parking lot, and I finally got it to shift properly from second into third. And once that happened, I was confident that I could at least get home in nothing but third gear. So I started making my way towards the back roads route that would have taken me 2 hours longer than the 2-hour drive it would have already been to get home. So we're talking 4 hours doing probably like 30 miles an hour the whole time. And then all of a sudden everything just started clicking, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I didn't even check reverse, but I was just like, I'm gonna go home while I have these gears working. I'm gonna try and get as far as I possibly can. That way at least the tow truck won't cost as much. Luckily enough, guys, the Prelude made it home yesterday on nothing but like half a quart of 5W30 in the transmission. So it was a time. it was a wonderful time, and I just wanted to share this story because, gosh, it just like, it was relevant. I actually wanted to make a different video that I'm gonna record tomorrow or maybe the next day, because now I have to make another video on replacing the transmission oil. So expect that video coming up next, and then I'm going to get back to my schedule of videos that I intended to make. But this was just such a fluke, and I was literally just so scared that the Prelude tranny had blown up, I just didn't know what to do. So I wanted to say thank you to you guys on the Instagram, because whenever something bad happens like that, I feel like I always go to Instagram and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on, I'm all flustered, and you guys are like, oh man, just do this or just check this, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I just want to say thank you guys to each of you who respond to me and like help me out in my time of need. I really do appreciate it. The community is awesome. Devin and your dad, thank you again for pulling over on the highway with me just to make sure everything was okay. That was so cool, and that was a lot. Sorry for the story, guys, but I had to say it. I had to tell it. It was too relevant. It happened, you know? Can't deny these things. But if you guys enjoyed the story, give it a thumbs up. Comments down below if you've had similar things. If you guys have ever been in a situation where you're like, I'm totally effed and I have to figure it out. Love to hear it. With that being said, I won't take up any more of your time today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new here and you want to see more content. You don't have to, but it's cool if you do. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Keep elevating. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video where we're literally going to be draining the tranny and putting new fluid in. Better fluid. Better fluid. Tips coming soon. See you guys.